Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
69. Again, Caitlin Clark in the building tonight. The Fever season not that far away. Lexi Holder teammate. Brand new head coach and Stephanie White. Kelly Krauskopf, the one-time leader of the Fever.
It was a moment without fireworks, no giant press release, no flashy ESPN ticker, and yet the quiet click of a camera flash caught the sports world holding its breath. Caitlin Clark, LeBron James, same frame, finally. You felt it, didn't you? That ripple across timelines and talk shows. A single image doing more than 1,000 predictions. No matter what sport you follow, this wasn't just a meet and greet, it was a shift. Because when a legend meets the future, the game never stays the same. The question now isn't if Caitlin Clark belongs. The question is, what does this moment unlock next? Let's break it all down. Not just the photo, not just the handshake, but the path that led here and why it matters so much. A star-studded night in Indianapolis. It all went down after a thriller of a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Indiana Pacers. The final score? Lakers 120, Pacers 119. And who sealed the deal? None other than LeBron himself, dropping a game winner as time slipped away like a heartbeat. But there was someone special in the crowd that night. Clark, sitting in a suite at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, right there in the thick of it with her boyfriend, Connor McCaffrey. Caitlin, who was drafted number 150, one overall by the Indiana Fever last year, was in the house not just as a fan but as the face of the WNBA. And after the buzzer rang, after LeBron's clutch bucket brought the Lakers the win, the two met for the very first time face to face, superstar to superstar. The unofficial torch pass, Cleveland, Ohio, the place where LeBron James's NBA story began. It's also now the city where Caitlin Clark's college career came to a close. Poetic, right? The kid from Akron, who built an empire out of expectation, meeting the woman who rewrote college basketball on her own terms. It wasn't loud, it wasn't scheduled, but it was real. For months, people waited. Clark had acknowledged him before. Obviously, I've never talked to LeBron directly, she told the Associated Press reporter Tom Withers, but I've seen him comment about me. Just this morning he was talking about women's basketball and how good the game is. He knows what he's talking about. That's the thing, LeBron doesn't just show up for show. He's supported the women's game for years, publicly, privately. His daughter Juri plays ball. He's invested. When Clark noticed that, she lit up, not because she needed validation, but because real ones know real ones. And this time, the real ones met. Diana Taurasi's reality check. Let's rewind to April 2024, because we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Diana Taurasi's viral take. The WNBA legend, never one to sugarcoat anything, told Scott Van Pelt on ESPN, "Reality is coming." Her words weren't cruel, they were seasoned. Clark had dominated in college, but the pros were a different beast. She played against 18-year-olds. Now she's going to be playing against women, Taurasi said bluntly. The internet exploded. Fans were split. Some called it disrespectful, others called it truth. But Clark, she stayed quiet. Let the game do the talking. And oh, it spoke. Because by the time Taurasi had Clark back on the Bird and Taurasi show, the tone had flipped. "Caitlin's amazing," she said, smiling at the same rookie she had just called out weeks prior. You don't often see pros admit when the new kid gets it, but Caitlin earned that flip not with clapbacks, but with composure. Rookie stats don't lie. Clark didn't just adjust to the league, she took it. In just a handful of games, she set the WNBA record for most assists in a single game. That's not a rookie stat, that's a point guard masterclass. She saw plays before they happened, sent passes through defenders like they were statues, and led her team to victories with eyes that mapped the court like radar. Aaliyah Boston, her Indiana Fever teammate, fed off that energy. In one game against Minnesota, Boston dropped 4 blocks and a career-high 16 rebounds. That's chemistry. That's momentum. That's what happens when a rookie walks in and makes her team believe. Perkins nailed it on TV. I was hearing all this talk about how it's going to take time, but here she is, breaking records, leading a team, and standing on business. He even said it straight. I'm looking at her the way I look at LeBron just for the women's game. And when Kendrick Perkins, a guy who's played with legends and battled in NBA finals, says that, you listen. Ticket sales, ratings, and the Caitlyn effect. The numbers off the court are even wilder. Let's talk cold hard facts. The 2024 NCAA Women's Basketball Final outdrew the men's championship in viewership for the first time in history. That's not just impressive, it's seismic. The men's final pulled in around 14 million viewers. The women's, over 18 million. That's Caitlin Clark. She was the face of that run. The reason people tuned in, even if they didn't know who Iowa was playing. If Clark was on the court, you watched, period. When she entered the WNBA, that same force followed. Teams began shifting venues to accommodate larger crowds. Arenas that struggled to fill seats last season were suddenly offering standing room only tickets. The Fever's home opener sold out. Her jersey, gone within hours. Ticket resale sites saw spikes well over 100%. We're talking hundreds of dollars for courtside seats just to see Caitlin Clark with your own eyes. That doesn't happen unless people believe they're witnessing something rare. From doubt to domination. Now let's revisit those early criticisms. Cheryl Swoops, another legend of the game, cast a little shade when she questioned Clark's all-time NCAA scoring record. She got that extra COVID year, Swoops said, suggesting it gave Clark an unfair advantage. Fair argument or sour grapes? Either way, it didn't stick. Clark kept showing up, game after game. Consistent, calm, deadly accurate. The noise faded. The highlights kept coming. Even as doubters sat and waited for her to crash, Clark just kept climbing. Not every night was perfect. This is the pros after all. But what makes her special isn't just the stats. It's how she plays through pressure, how she sees the court, how she leads as if she's been here for years. The LeBron comparison is real. There's no escaping it now. The LeBron comparisons aren't just media hype, they're earned. Let's be honest, LeBron walked into the NBA with expectation levels so unreal they could have buried anyone else. And he exceeded them, not just with numbers, but with presence. That I run this vibe that very few athletes ever truly command. Clark? She's doing the same thing, just in a different arena. She wasn't a hesitant rookie. She was the floor general from day one. And with every pass, every assist, every no-look drive to the basket, she showed us what the future looks like. TV networks are already reshuffling schedules. ESPN, ABC, and CBS, they all want a piece of the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. Because ratings aren't just up, they're surging. That kind of media war doesn't happen for just any draft pick. It happens when a player becomes a movement. The silent photo that said everything. And now, we circle back to that photo. The one where LeBron finally meets Caitlin. It wasn't staged, it wasn't loud, but it was massive. Two of the most influential basketball players of their generations, side by side. No need for words. Because LeBron knew what he was seeing, and Clark knew exactly what she'd just earned. That quiet meeting made more noise than most press conferences, and the world took notice. This wasn't just a handshake, it was a silent nod. A "you got this" from the man who knows what pressure tastes like. And now, fans are plotting the rematch. Will she show up at LeBron's final game? Will he be courtside at the WNBA finals if Clark's there? Will they share a stage at the All-Star game? This photo wasn't the end, it was just the spark. Because the next time they're in the same room, it won't be quiet. People want cameras, interviews, a moment they can replay a million times. Caitlin Clark is leading the WNBA's golden era. We're witnessing something rare. The WNBA is on the brink of a golden era. And make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is the one leading the charge. She didn't just arrive. She changed the atmosphere, the rules, the stakes. She made people care. She made men's basketball fans cross over and stay. She turned doubters into believers. She gave little girls a new poster to hang on their walls. She gave LeBron James a reason to stop, watch, and clap. This isn't the kind of story you can fake. It's not a PR campaign, it's not a hype train, it's real. Like this video if you felt that moment hit you. Subscribe so you never miss what's coming next. And turn on those notifications, because if the first meeting between Caitlin Clark and LeBron was this powerful, just wait for the next one. The WNBA isn't just rising, it's roaring. And Caitlin Clark is the storm. Thanks for watching.